morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire. It's another daily crypto review of EOS, Ethereum and Ripple, and we'll have a look at Bitcoin as well. It's Saturday, the 20th of June. Jumping straight in and having a look at EOS against the dollar. Mixed start to the day, but it's managed to become a little bit bullish. EOS is going to need to avoid that pivot at 52.65 that it briefly fell back through at the start of the day. Support a run at the first major resistance level that sits at 54.93. Going to need support from the broader market to break out from 255 high yesterday to support an upward trend through the day. Fall back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 50.27 into play. We've seen EOS find plenty of support at 50 levels. An extended sell-off, however, through the day would bring the second major support level at 47.97 into play. That should limit any downside barring a meltdown on the day. Looking at the daily chart and the MACD, got to see EOS avoid this support level at 242 that it tested back on Monday. A breakthrough today's resistance levels would bring 290s into play in the coming days, and then obviously we're going to need to see a breakout through to 311s to support the near-term bullish trend. Looking at the MACD and the histograms, we're seeing a possible crossover to support a recovery from losses midweek. Going to need to see EOS avoid 242s, however, and obviously on the longer term, this key support sitting at 226. Fall through 226 and we're going to expect that near-term bullish trend to reverse. Moving across to Ethereum against the dollar and the hourly candlestick, being a mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum break through the pivot at 229 to support a run at the first major support level that's currently sitting at 231.56. Barring an extended rally on the day, we're going to expect that first major resistance level on Friday's high of 231.90 to cap any upside. Failure to break through that pivot, going to see the first major support level at 226 come into play. Barring a meltdown, we should see Ethereum avoid sub 220s. We got the second major support level sitting at 223.53 to limit any downside. Moving across to the daily candlestick and the MACD, we're seeing Ethereum struggle here to break out. We're going to need to see a move back through to 250 to support the near-term bullish trend and a break through the 23.6% fib at 257. Looking at the MACD, we're seeing the histograms widen here, suggesting a possible crossover and a bearish formation. A fall through sub 225s would bring sub 220s into play and a possible reversal of that bullish trend formed back in mid-March. Ethereum's going to need to avoid this key support level at sub 176. So it's going to be a bit choppy looking at the histograms and the MACD. Moving across to Ripple against the dollar. Bearish start to the day, failed to recover. Similar trend to Ethereum. Going to need to see Ripple move back through the pivot at 1880, support a run at this first major resistance level sitting at 1896. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for a break back through to 19s when Friday's high 19.045. Barring a bullish trend on the day, we could see Ripple under pressure again. Failure to break through that pivot is going to bring the first major support level sitting at 1857 into play. We should see the third major support level at 1804 avoided. We've got the second major support level at 1842 that could come into play on the day. Looking at the daily candlestick and the MACDs, again, one of the key support levels sitting at 1840 could come into play later today. That sits alongside the second major support level. Fall through that and we could see sub 18s and then this key support at 1750 come into play. Fall through that, and then we're going to see a near-term bullish trend reversal. Ripple's going to need to break through today's resistance levels to bring this key resistance level sitting at 2130 into play, and it's going to need to then break out from 2350 levels to support the near-term bullish trend formed back in mid-March. Looking at the MACDs and the histograms, we're seeing a widening here, suggesting a possible crossover that would bring this 1840 level into play later in the day, which would be bearish for Ripple. Moving across to Bitcoin and the daily candlesticks along with the MACD. Been a mixed start to the day. We're seeing the histograms still suggesting a possible crossover on the day, which would be a bearish, another pullback. That could bring the 23.6% fib at 8,900 into play. That would be bearish for the broader market. We've got the support level sitting here at 9,000. Going to need to see Bitcoin break back through that key level at 9,500 that it's continued to struggle at. So yeah, it's looking a bit choppy for the day and a little bit bearish based on the MACD and the histograms.